So this is going to be the conversation navigation path. Okay.
Okay.
So what you're going to do is you're going to do a basic, proper greeting. Okay. So that should be your basic intro. I can give you some calls to pull, but we're gonna kind of iron it out right now. We'll listen to a couple, and then we'll do some rapport building. We'll gather information. Call you back shortly. Okay. Gather information, lines of insurance discovery, coverage discovery, current insurance company, surprise concern, story. Okay. So let's go ahead and start by listening to.
Is there a sheet like that I could?
Yeah, I can print one off for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep, totally. So call history. All right. We are going to Okay. So the first call I'm going to have you listen to is going to be one of Shayla's.
Sure.
Sorry for the delay.
Oh, no worries.
Particular one I want you to listen to. Here it is right here.
Well,
Hi, is this Frederick Johnson?
speaking.
Hi, Frederick. My name is Sheila. I'm with Farmers Insurance. How are you doing today?
Bam, simple intro. That's exactly what yours is going to sound like. Hi, this is Michael with Farmers Insurance. How you doing today?
I'm good.
Good. I was giving you a call. Looks like either you or Eileen filled something out online to get an auto quote, and I had all the numbers put together if you had a quick second for me.
I like to say quick minute.
Mm-hmm.
You can say quick second, something quick.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Okay, awesome. Verify a few things first. Are you guys currently at 12556 Early Morning Drive?
This is the insurance verification stuff.
Okay. Figured you guys own the home out there?
Yes.
Okay. And is it just you and Eileen as the drivers?
It's Elaine.
Elaine, okay. Let's see here. And then I have a 2019 Nissan Rogue and a 2020 Hyundai.
When the last time you had to talk with them?
Here. And what are your guys' current bodily injury limits?
It's like both of them minimal. I think it's 100.
Excuse me?
I can't remember.
You see how the customer's confused? They don't know.
Right. Yeah.
That's what we're trying. That is the goal we're trying to accomplish. We're trying to instill lack of confidence.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. When was the last time you guys actually had your agent talk to you about that?
When the last time you had to talk with them?
Yeah. Like, have you guys spoke with your agent about that?
Oh, no.
No? Okay. To be honest, that's a little bit concerning to hear.
So at that point, so the way I like to do it is I like to do our basic intro. Hi, this is Chris with Farmers Insurance. How you doing today? Oh, I'm doing well. All right, great. The reason I'm calling is you went online, filled something out, and I have the quotes all prepared. Do you have a quick minute?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, no, screw you, whatever. You're going to get that right there, okay? All right, fantastic. So you don't always have to wait for a validation. You can be aggressive. You can keep going. Great. Do you have a quick minute? Fantastic. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start verifying vehicles and things of that nature. So I just want to verify a couple pieces of information. Let me start by confirming your address. Are you at 432 blah, 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 blah? Yep, great. All right. Now for vehicles, the system pulled that you have this vehicle, this vehicle. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Fantastic. Tell me about your current coverage limits. My what? Your current coverage limits. You know, the bodily injury limits that protect you in the event of a car crash. What are your current coverage limits? Oh, I have no idea. Oh, you have no idea? Well, that's a little concerning. When was the last time you spoke with your agent and went over your coverage limits? Because there might be gaps or holes in your coverage you might not know about.
If they know what it is, then you would just spend on something else.
Very rarely do people know. Sometimes they do.
Sure.
So yeah, so my coverage bodily injury limit, I think it's like 50,000, 100,000. Oh, okay. Do you know exactly how that works? What that means? Very rarely will you get somebody that says yes, but you will. Okay, great. So we'll act like this person knows. Great. So you know it's $50,000 in bodily injury per person, $100,000 in bodily injury for the entire accident, and then $25,000 for property damage. Yep, I know that. Perfect. Well, the reason I don't like this coverage, you immediately tell them you don't like it, and you give an explanation as to why. I'll tell you why I really don't like this coverage. A year ago, a few years back, somebody had a claim that came through our agency to where I always like to position the highway close to where they're at. Okay, so if they live in, say, Charles, I'll say 70, I'll say 364, I'll say 64, I'll say 70, 170, 270, whatever highway that I feel is close to where they live. Okay, so somebody was going down 270. It was a beautiful day, kind of came out of nowhere. The customer that was in front of them sees the brakes, locked it up, and yeah. Hi. Hello. I need the phone number to AAA customer service. Can you end that to me? Because I need to call to get a letter of experience. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So they were driving down 270, got involved in the vehicle, locked up the brakes in front of them. Unfortunately, our insured did slide into the rear of them, unfortunately causing a chain reaction where multiple vehicles were involved. Now, when I illustrate this, I know how much the bodily injury limits are. So if it's at $25,000, it was a $35,000 claim. If it was $50,000, it was a $55,000 or $65,000 claim.
Sure.
You just kind of keep upping it until you're able to illustrate a scenario that makes sense. Okay. Sure. So for this instance, we'll say they have $25,000. So all right. So our insured ended up having a multi-vehicle incident where they were deemed at fault, and fortunately, we had great coverage for our insured because it ended up being about $35,000. Now, had our insured had your coverage that you have right now, you would have only had $25,000, so you'd be left on the hook for the difference. I mean, think about that. That's $10,000. Do you have that kind of money laying around? No, I don't either. Nobody does. Right. So that's why I like to increase that coverage to $50,000 or $100,000, whatever you mark it to. Yeah.
I just wanted you to know that I have a Jay Kelly from Farmers in regards to Sean Cooper. I didn't know if you needed that right away or anything about a claim.
Yeah, I kind of do need to talk to them. Let's pause this for a quick
Want me to
moment.
step off a minute?
Yeah, go ahead and send that on over.
You want me to transfer over?
Yes, please. All right. All right, so at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and practice your intro. All right?
Sure.
Now, do you want to be the customer or do you want to be the employee?
I'll be the employee.
Sounds good. Fire away. So start by saying ring ring. Yeah. Hello?
Hi, is this Chris?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Chris, this is Mike from Farmers Insurance. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. The reason I was calling is just received a request for a quote, and just wanted to get a little bit of information from you and get a quote provided for you.
Okay, pause. So like the first half, the latter part, you're working on it, so it's coming off a little choppy. Let's try it again. So, hi, this is Chris with Farmers Insurance. Wanted to reach out. We received your information by way of quote. Wanted to get the information to you. Do you have a quick minute? Something along those lines. Try to come off a little sharper if you can. Try to.
Sure. Bring.
Hello?
Hello, is this Chris?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Chris, this is Mike from Farmers Insurance. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
I'm not doing too bad. Thanks for asking. Received a quote for your
Request for quote.
Request for quote, and just wanted to verify a little information from you. Do you have a quick minute?
Sure.
Great. So I need to have the sheet.
Yep, and then you just kind of start going into
Yeah,
the
kind of going
vehicle.
down to verify.
So let's figure that part out. How do we want that to sound? Hi, this is Chris with Farmers Insurance. How you doing today? Doing well, great. The reason I'm calling is we received your information on getting an up-to-date quote. Just want to verify some information. So let's do that. Let's say it like that, okay? We received that you were looking for some information on a quote. I want to verify some information. Do you have this vehicle? That kind of thing, okay?
Sure.
All right, so you try.
Okay. Bring.
Hello?
Hello, is this Chris?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Chris, it's Mike from Farmers Insurance. How you doing today?
Doing well, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Hey, I'm glad I caught you. The reason I was calling is we just received a request for quote, and just wanted to verify some information with you if you have a quick minute.
Perfect. Yeah, what do you got? And
Well,
then that's where we kind of lead in.
details.
All right. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and work on the second portion. Okay, so now I have a 2008 Honda Odyssey. Okay. I know what coverage limits I'm planning on telling you. I'm not going to tell you anything unless you ask for it. Okay?
Okay.
So you can start from the top. You can be in the middle. You choose.
Yeah, okay.
You can write down. You can do whatever you want. Got a pen?
Okay, so we're going into which part now?
We're in the middle now.
Right
So now what we're going to do is we're going to discover what their bodily injury limits are. Say what we like or don't like.
Oh, great. So it looks like we have a 2013 Chevy Chevette.
Let's say Honda Accord.
Okay, let's say that. Okay, looks like we have a 2013 Honda Accord here.
Yep.
Do you know what your bodily injury limits are in this?
Yeah, I think I have $500. 500.
500.
Nope, don't assume that, because a lot of times they're going to deductible.
That's what I was just gonna.
Yeah, so 500 is a bodily injury limit too.
Right.
So don't write that down. So come into that like 500. Oh, is that your deductible?
Okay.
So let's do it again.
Okay. Looks like I have a 2013 Honda Accord listed here. Do you know what your bodily injury limits are?
Bodily injury, 500.
Looks like is that your deductible?
Yeah, I think that's my deductible.
Great. So, when was the last time you had your insurance reviewed by your agent?
Let's go back.
Okay.
We want them to know that they have no idea what the bodily injury limits are. So when I say bodily injury limits, I mean the bodily injury limits that protect you in the event of a car crash. You know, state minimum is $2,550. Some is $5,100. What are your limits? Oh, I have no idea. That's what you're wanting to get them to say.
Gotcha. Okay. Looks like I have a 2013 Honda Accord listed here. You know what your bodily injury limits are?
No, I think I have 500 for full coverage.
That sounds like it's your deductible. Do you know what your bodily injury limits are? I mean, like the 100, 300, that type of thing?
No, I have no idea.
No? It's unfortunate to hear, but I can help you with that today.
Good. Now, that was a really good transition. What I want you to say in that scenario is, it is unfortunate to hear. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you spoke with your agent about your coverages? Jesus.
They won't leave you alone.
It's not my mom, it's my lender, it's a customer, it's nonstop. All right. When was the last time you spoke to your current insurance provider or current agent about your coverage?
Sure. Okay. So it looks like I have a 2013 Honda Accord listed here. Do you know what your bodily injury limits are?
I think I have a $500 deductible.
$500 deductible. Do you happen to know what your bodily injury number is, like the 100, 300, 50, 20, 25, 50?
Yeah, man, I don't know. I have no idea.
Boy, it's fortunate to hear. When was the last time you had that reviewed with your agent?
I guess when I bought insurance.
Do you know how they determine those?
I have no idea. Good question. Don't want to get them too off because then they're going to get annoyed. So what we want to do is, I'll be the salesperson. You be me, okay? So I see that you got a 2013 Honda Accord. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about your current bodily injury limits?
Boy, I'm not positive of what those are.
Okay, the bodily injury limits are the things that protect you in the event of a car crash. You know, sometimes they're 2550, 5100, 100, 300. Do you have any idea at all?
Boy, I think it's the 5100. I'm not sure though.
Okay, fair enough. It's a little concerning. When was the last time you had your agent talk with you and go over your coverages or possible holes or gaps in your coverage?
Boy, not since we've got this initially set up about 5 years ago.
Okay, well, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'll make sure by the time we're done today, you're going to know everything through and through, and we'll get you squared away. Okay. Let me see what kind of coverage you have right now. You already know that. You've already done that, but say that. Let me see what kind of coverage you have right now. Okay. All right. Mike, it actually looks like you have 50,000, 100,000, 50,000. Now that's $50,000 in bodily injury per person, $100,000 for the entire accident, and $50,000 in property damage. So the reason I don't like this coverage, and then that's when you go into the scenario.
Sure.
All right, now you do it.
Okay. It looks like you've got a 2013 Honda Accord listed here. Do you know what your bodily injury limits are?
I think I got full coverage.
Full coverage. But do you know what your bodily injury, like the 100, 300, what would be covered in case of an accident?
No, I really don't. I probably should.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Did your agent ever go through that with you?
When was the last time?
When was the last time?
Because ain't nobody going to talk to them unless they have to. When was the last time?
When was the last time?
Yeah, probably when I got the insurance. It's been a couple of years.
Well, I can help you with that. We'll just go through a few things here. Let me look up some information, and we'll get that squared away for you.
Okay. Now, say the next thing. What's the next thing you're going to say?
We're going to talk about the...
No, we're going to find out. Let me look at
Let me look it up.
Let me look at what kind of coverage you have right now.
Gotcha.
All right.
Let me look up what kind of coverage you have right now. Hold on just a second. I'm just pulling some stuff up here. Looks like you've got 50, 150.
Okay.
So that would be in the event of an accident, you'd have 50,000 coverage per person, 100,000 per accident, and then the property damage would be at 50,000.
Okay.
That sound like that would be enough to cover you?
Nope.
It doesn't sound like
Remember, steer, lead. Yeah. You got to lead. So looks like your current coverage limits are 50,000, 100,000, 50,000. What that means is you have $50,000 in property bodily injury per person, $100,000 for the entire accident, and $50,000 in property damage. Okay. Now I'm gonna tell you why I don't like this coverage. Write that down. I want you to say that. I'm gonna tell you why I don't like this coverage. Now we're going from an insurance solicitor to an insurance advisor.
Okay.
All right. And now you illustrate your scenario. The reason I don't like this is we had a customer a few years back where a claim came through. They were driving on 270. They were involved in a car crash. The vehicle in front of them, for out of no reason, all of a sudden locked up their brakes. Our customer not having enough time, wasn't able to stop, ended up rear-ending them into the vehicle in front of them, causing a chain reaction of multiple incidents. Now, fortunately, our insured had quality coverage, but had our insured had your coverage, they ended up having a total of about $65,000 in damage. Had this insured had your coverage limit at $50,000, they'd be on the hook for the difference. That's a lot of money. That's $15,000. I don't want that to be the case for you. So I'm going to go ahead and put this together with my recommendation. So right now, I'm quoting your current coverage limits at $50,000, $100,000, $100,000. Okay? What are they currently charging you right now with those kind of coverages?
What? Not really sure.
So, and sometimes you'll get them. A lot of, if you pull my last 3 one-call closes, you'll actually see that they're mad. They're annoyed. They're frustrated. They had no idea what kind of coverage they had. They know it's more, so they tell you, man, I'm paying $260 a month. You're paying $260 a month? Okay, all right. Well, right now I was able to double the coverage. I was able to do this, and we're coming in at $250. Is that the kind of coverage and savings you're looking for? Yeah, it's double coverage. It's better. Blah, blah, blah. It's cheaper. Bam. So let's go ahead and do it from the top. Ring, ring.
Okay. From the top. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hello, is this Chris?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Chris, it's Mike from Farmers Insurance. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Hey, it looks like I just had a quote come through, or request for a quote to come through, and I just wanted to see if you had a quick minute that I could go through some information with you.
Yeah, I don't have much time, so.
Well, it'll only take a quick minute. Just wanted to verify that you're at
Yep.
address, and looks like you have a 2013 Honda Accord. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. Do you happen to know what your bodily injury limits are on that auto?
Bodily injury limits. I think I got full coverage.
Full coverage? Well, that would cover your deductibles, but bodily injury, like 5,100, anything that would cover you in the case of an accident. Does that ring a bell to you?
Man, I have no idea.
That's something that I think I can help you with. I'm going to tell you.
Wait, that's concerning.
It's concerning.
Why is it concerning?
Because they don't know.
Oh, and there might be gaps or holes in the coverage.
Right.
So now, when you ask that, you say it's concerning, then you ask, when was the last time you spoke to your agent about your current coverages?
Right. Okay.
Go ahead. Pick it up from right there.
Looks like I have a 2013 Honda Accord listed here for you. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's correct.
Great. So, do you happen to know what your bodily injury limits are? What are you covered for? In case of an accident?
I think I got full coverage.
Full coverage? Okay, that would take care of your deductible. But I was looking to try to get an idea of what your bodily injury limits are. Like the 100, 300, 5,100.
I have no idea.
Oh, that's unfortunate to hear, but I can help you with that today. When was the last time that you spoke with your agent about your coverages?
It's probably been a while.
Great. Well,
No, don't say great. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. But don't you worry. We'll get that taken care of today for you. And then you transition into let me go ahead and see what kind of coverages you have.
Okay. Great. Let me see what kind of coverages you have. One quick second here while I pull that up for you. Looks like I am coming up that you have a 5,150 for your bodily injury and property damage limits.
What does that
The
mean?
thing I don't like about that is that
Hold on. Don't go into the scenario too quick. Take your time. Go nice and slow. So I see that you have, when you see the bodily injury limits, explain them line by line. So I see that you have $50,000 in property damage, or $50,000 in bodily. Blech! Tongue tied. Let me get a drink. All right.
you are.
Right. I've got $50,000 in personal property. It's all running together.
It's not. It's hard.
It's been a long day.
It's been hard to roll. It's hard to role play.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good.
Yeah. No, I get it.
All right. So we have $50,000 in bodily injury per person, $100,000 in bodily injury per accident, and $50,000 in property damage. So we'll pay up to $50,000 if someone's hurt, $100,000 if multiple people are hurt, and then only $50,000 to fix all the cars that are damaged. The reason I don't like this coverage is we had a claim come through our agency a few years back. You know, driving down the highway, bam, bam, bam. But explain the bodily injury line by line, 50,000 first, 100,000 second, then property damage third. Then tell me you don't like it, and then tell me why you don't like it. Go.
Okay, looks like I have a 2013 Honda Accord listed here. Is that accurate?
Yep.
Great. Do you happen to know what your bodily injury limits are?
No, I think I have $500 deductibles.
500 deductibles. Okay. But is there anything that rings a bell with 50, 150, 100, 300?
You know, I really don't know. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But I can fix that for you. When was the last time you spoke to your agent about that?
I probably haven't talked to him since I bought the insurance.
Well, let me look up some information here, and I'll get that information for you. If you can hold on with me 1 second.
Hold on. That's bad. We want to say, hey, well, that's not good. Well, don't you worry. I'll go ahead and make sure I get everything conveyed to you today. We want to raise concern that they have no idea what their coverage is. Then we want to make, kind of want to belittle the other agent, like, oh my God, when was the last time you talked to him? Well, that's not good. Don't worry. You won't have that with us. Let me go ahead and figure out what your current coverage limits are now. Okay? Let's try it again.
Okay. Looks like we have a 2013 Honda Accord listed here. Is that accurate?
Yep.
Great, great. So do you happen to know what your bodily injury limits are?
Bodily injury limits. Yeah, I got full coverage.
Full coverage? Okay, that would take care of your deductibles here. But I was wondering if you happen to know what your bodily injury, like the 50, 150, something that's listed like that on your policy.
I have no idea.
No? Well, that's not good, but I can fix that for you. Let me look up your information, and I'll get those numbers going. It looks like it's coming up.
Forgot the agent.
Pardon me?
We forgot the agent.
Oh.
It's all right. Let's do this. Instead of what you have here, flip that page over. Let's get you a bullet point. Bullet point number 1. Intro. Bullet point number 2. Vehicle verification and address. Well, no, I'm sorry. Cross that out. Do address verification, then vehicle. Next slide. Bodily injury limits. Last time they spoke with their agent. Let me look up your current coverages. Explain, split limit, line by line. And then write 50, 100, 50. Why you don't like the coverage? And then example. Now on this portion, with you kind of talking to them, you've already done a pretty decent job of pulling rapport with the customer. So you could probably pull out how much they're being charged right now. Okay, so let me see what your coverage limits are. All right, so I see you already did the 50, 100, 50. I don't like that coverage. Here's example. You give the example. Now, with the coverages you currently have, how much are they charging you for that?
You mean after you show the example?
After you do the example,
Right.
Yep. Now, with the coverages you currently have, how much are they charging you? Now, you're going to get pushback sometimes when you ask this.
Sure.
A lot of time you're not. A lot of time they're just going to tell you.
Sure,
Okay.
sure.
So when you end up illustrating like this, they'll end up saying, you know, I'm being charged this. That's fine. You've already got the quote ran. You've already got it in front of you.
Sure.
So now, after they tell you how much they're charging, you're going to go through ours line by line. I'm going to recommend 50,000, 100,000, 100,000. I ended up increasing your property damage by 4 times that. Okay, I think that right there puts you in a safe place. Now, even by increasing those coverages, we're only coming in at dollar amount.
Right.
So, is that the kind of if you're the same price or a little bit more expensive, is that the kind of coverage you're looking for? Yeah, that is. If you're better with coverage and price, is that the kind of coverage and savings you're looking for? Yes, it is. Okay, so I assume you probably have everything bundled, right? Your home and auto, and then bam, you just transition. Do you know anything about the coverages on your home? No, I don't. I mean, at this point, dude, they trust you 100%.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You've already shown them that they have no idea the prior agent was kind of a world-class no good.
Sure.
Because they don't know anything.
Sure.
Now they do. They have confidence in it. Okay. So then you can jump into the home. So let's go ahead and do it from the top. I got a 2013 Honda Accord. I got 5,100 25 limits.
Okay, we're ringing the phone. Ring.
Hello?
Hey, is this Chris?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Chris, it's Mike from Farmers Insurance. How you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Good. Glad to hear that. The reason I'm calling is it looks like we received a request for a quote from you, and just wanted to verify some information and get a quote sent over to you.
Nope. We received your information that you're looking for a quote. I have those numbers prepared if you have a quick minute. Let's write that down. Received some information. You were looking for a quote. I have the numbers prepared. Do you have a quick minute? And then I'll say, yes, perfect. I just want to verify some information. I have your home address as this. Yep. I have this as this. All right, from the top.
Okay, ring.
Hello?
Hello, is this Chris?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Chris, this is Mike from Farmers Insurance. How you doing today?
I'm well.
Great. Hey, the reason I'm calling is I received a request for a quote. I have those numbers ready for you. Do you have a quick minute that I could get a little bit of information from you?
No more. Just ahead. Do you got a quick minute? Wait for the yes. All right. Yes.
Great. Are you still at Ding?
Yes, I am. Yep.
Fantastic. And it looks like I have you listed here with your 2013 Honda Accord. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. Do you happen to know what your bodily injury limits are?
Ooh, I think I have full coverage.
Full coverage. Okay, so you got full coverage here. Do you happen to know, or do you have seen a figure like the 5,100, 2550, anything like that on your policy?
I think maybe 5,100.
5,100. Okay. When was the last time you had your insurance reviewed by your agent?
Probably since I bought it.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Boy, your agent should probably review that with you, but I can fix that for you today.
Sorry, we missed the spot, didn't we?
I'm sorry?
We missed the spot, didn't we? You remember when we went over the bodily injury limits? We tell them the bodily injury limits. They don't have any confidence or knowledge of the bodily injury limits. Well, that's concerning. All right, well, no worries. We'll get that fixed. When was the last time you spoke to your agent about your coverages?
Okay. All righty.
Good.
Where would you like to go back to?
Let's go 13 Accord.
Okay. Looks like I have a 2013 Honda Accord listed here for you. Is that accurate?
Yep.
Great. Do you happen to know what your bodily injury limits are for that?
I think I have full coverage.
Full coverage. Do you happen to see a figure on your policy that has like a 25, 50, 25, like a 3-digit number on your?
No, I don't.
When was the last time you reviewed that with your agent?
Reviewed what?
Reviewed your policy limits.
Probably when I bought it.
Boy, that's concerning, but I can help you with that today.
So you're gonna play me. You're gonna be the customer. I'm gonna be the salesperson. Okay. So ring ring.
Hello?
Hi, is this Mike?
It sure is.
Hey Mike, this is Chris Ellis with Farmers Insurance. How are you today?
Good. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well, thanks. Hey, the reason I'm calling is, I received your information that you were looking for a quote. I have those numbers prepared if you have a quick minute.
Sure. What do you got?
Awesome. So I just want to verify some information with you real quick. Are you at ABC Drive?
I am.
Okay. And do you have a 2013 Honda Accord?
Yep, I sure do.
Awesome. Are there any other drivers or operators in the household I need to have on there?
My wife and my daughter.
Okay. And her name is this, her name is this. Is that correct?
Correct.
Perfect. And then do I need to have any other vehicles, or is that it?
No, that's it.
Okay. So let me ask you this. What are your current bodily injury limits?
I'm not exactly sure.
Okay. So like, what I'm trying to figure out is like, what kind of coverages you have in place that would protect you in the event of a car crash. Do you have any idea what that is?
I don't know the exact figures, but I know it's better than minimum, but not maximum.
All right. Well, that's a little concerning. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you had a conversation with your agent to go over kind of coverages or any potential gaps or holes in your coverage?
Boy, when we initially set it up was the last time we really talked.
Man, well, I hate to hear that. Let me do this. Let me kind of pull out what your current coverage limits are, and then I can kind of work backwards from there, and we can go through it line by line. So let me do that real quick. And it looks like we have you with 50,000, 100,000, 25,000. Okay. Do you know what that means at all?
I don't.
All right. So basically what that means is you're going to have $50,000 in bodily injury coverage per person, $100,000 in bodily injury per accident, and $25,000 in property damage for the entire incident. So I can tell you, I don't like that coverage. And Mike, the reason why is a few years back, we had a claim come through our agency where they were driving on 270, and they ended up having a fender bender to where a vehicle in front of them kind of locked up the brakes abruptly. Our insured couldn't stop, and they went into the back of them, causing a chain reaction. Now, if our insured had the limits that you currently have, the total claim that occurred was about $60,000. Okay, so if they just had 25,000, they'd basically be on the hook for about 30 grand. I don't know about you, but I don't have that kind of money lying around.
No, I don't.
So, that's why I don't like that coverage. So what I have quoted up and what I have prepared for you is that I do have the 50,000, 100,000, but instead of 25,000, I have $100,000 in property damage. So had that exact scenario happen to you, we'd have more than enough coverage to cover the claim. Now, with those types of coverages that you have over there, what are they charging you?
Boy, I think they're charging me about $125 a month.
Okay. So right now, with the coverage limits that I have you with full coverage on the 2013 Honda Accord. I have you with 500 comp, 500 collision. I have the bodily injury limits at 50,000, 100,000, 100,000. We're coming in right at 130. So it is a little bit more than what you're paying now, but we tripled the coverage that you have. Is that the kind of coverage you're looking for?
Boy, it is. But boy, I've been with my insurance agent for so long now.
Well, I understand that, and I appreciate you being loyal. But, I mean, at the end of the day, their one job is to explain to you the coverages that you currently have and at least go over with you regularly. And they've ceased to do that. So I understand you being with them for a long time. But, I mean, clearly you have some holes and gaps in your coverage you didn't even know about. So
Right.
Do you have your home bundled?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you know any kind of coverages you have on your home?
No, I don't.
Okay, yeah. So let me go ahead and get some information on that. I can look at that for you too. Bam.
Okay.
In that scenario, you push back a little, but still was even able to persevere.
Yeah.
So that's what you got to do. You just kind of got to keep tinkering and tinkering and tinkering and tinkering. I think you have a general pitch kind of built.
I have a general, but I stumble through the stops. I need to understand the stops.
Yep. So you know how you do that?
Tell me.
Just practice, practice, practice.
Yeah.
Practice, practice, practice.
I'll be doing it.
So you already have a pitch you've already put together with State Farm.
Right. Which was not this.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. To think about the pitch you have and start integrating some of this into it.
Sure.
Do it slowly.
Right.
We don't have to rewrite the wheel or remake the wheel. All you got to do is just take tidbits little by little, you'll start to see it and be like, bam, okay, I did it perfect that time. At the end of the day, in less than 2 weeks, I want every pitch to be a perfect pitch. If we can get to that in 2 weeks, we're rocking. So, what do you think about getting on the phones?
No problem.
You ready?
Yeah, I'll jump on.
All right, let's rock and roll. You want to do it in here? Where you want to do it?
It doesn't matter. I mean, we can, but if I have a sheet, I can.
Yeah,
work
well,
from,
you
a quote that I can work from.
Yeah, so why don't we go ahead and call, here, I'm going to end this real quick. I'm going to Skype this to you so you can